series, the first one of the day. So this one, they're about 22 minutes in already. It looks like it's overall a pretty even game, actually. So, you know, perhaps jumping into a potentially pretty good one here. That's exciting. All right, so what do we got here? We got Baltazar playing the Mage Bane. You're in, by the way, right?
Yeah,
able to
I
connect?
am.
Okay, cool. We got Baltazar playing the Mage Bane here. It looks like he's farming pretty well. 540 gold per minute. Now, he hasn't been involved in any kills or even assists for that matter, as Midas goes down to the top lane. So that's something I'm definitely noticing. It's just been a very, very heavy farm game for the Mage Bane here. Going up against the Silhouette. Marcus Moy playing his signature Silhouette hero, I think you can call it. But all right, so now that we kind of are absorbing in what we're looking at here, what are you noticing, Mr. Agrosta?
Trying to still look. I mean, the Legion team picked a pretty strong lineup just for winning lanes. I mean, I'm assuming that was Bach. Yeah, Boxy went mid. Okay, Maki Suicide. Okay. So, yeah, they just kind of picked good overall heroes. And, I mean, the 2-0 team kind of just picked their comfort heroes that we've come to know what they do. They don't, at least in my opinion, they aren't picking, like, heavily for the meta. They've been picking a lot for them, the heroes they like to play. So, I do like to see that a lot. But, I mean, they do have to deal with a 550 GPM Mage Bane practically that does have a shrunken head now. So, big fight could be setting up anytime soon.
Yeah, that is potentially, of course, pretty scary here to say the least. The solo core lineup here on the Legion side. You can kind of call it a little bit of a dual core if you consider Lord Salforce up there, and I think most would, as far as just his presence and what he can be in the later game, especially with Peksu playing it. This guy, he does. I mean, in general, this guy is a fantastic player, frankly. I don't want to say he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. I mean, I know he's even won like most improved player even a couple times, and I mean he's gotten some recognition here. But he really is a player that has definitely come onto the competitive scene and one that has noticeably been doing a lot of work. It just seems like he's one of those guys that always will have like just a solid and sound game. And on top of that, though, he's plays some pretty unique things. Like the Jungle Gladiator is definitely one of the bigger ones that that comes to mind and makes it work. So, speaking of this game, though, he has a sheep stick that he just got already at 24.5 minutes with that tablet and the Ghost Marchers on top of that. So, sheep stick, great item in general, especially useful against a hero like Mage Bane. Keep them locked down and you can get it before the Shrunken. So,
yeah, definitely is. And yeah, like you were saying, I think Peksu just turned into one of those players that you can always rely on. He won't ever have like that really bad game where it's just like, oh wow, he lost us the game. No, he'll always have that sound game and really always play to the best of his ability.
Yeah. Top lane, what's going on up here? Midas seems like he's doing the Midas fashion thing. He's got his post ace. Actually, with the Void Talisman here, you do see that Deadwood and Silhouette, of course, too. It seems like it has pretty good potential here this game for a couple of those jump heroes. So, a sound pick. You even see Magnus coming up here to thinking he still might be here, but he indeed is not. So, clearly a distraction being made by Make and doing his part in that sense. But yeah, while this game continues to just advance on here, Mage Bane just continues to get even more and more farm. And we mentioned he just got that Shrunken recently, and now he has another 2,600 gold saved up already. By the way, I am looking at his build right here. He did flat out pass up Master of the Mantra, and I know that tends to be like vary a little bit from player to player. I feel like.
Oh. This game... Oh.
You get jumped by Deadwood, actually. This is so... Never mind. He's going to pop the Shrunken and set up some turn now. Mana Rift comes out. Not a lot of damage, but enough to help then eventually secure the kill on a Deadwood. So I think Deadwood was maybe expecting help a little quicker right there, but he wasn't really getting it.
Yeah, he just walked into 4 heroes. There's no way surviving that, but... and top lane.
Oh, they kill Marcus Moy. All right, so Silhouette goes down. That's an important kill.
Yeah, that was actually part of the thing I was going to bring up here. I was like, their chance of winning is going to be, heavily in this Silhouette split push, but Meraxis Midas is a great counter to Silhouette. And especially once this Meraxis, either Meraxis gets a Hellflower after his Shrunken or the Midas gets a Sheepstick, once that happens, they're going to be able to kill him just together. So the Silhouette's going to have a lot of problems this game up until he might even have to go a Shrunken head this game himself.
Top lane Pexy coming up here to clean up the farm. That Midas again, keeping the creep wave pushed in here. But Silhouette simply waiting to resurrect, as now that Geometer's Bane finished in full on Balthazar, and even continuing to go further. The Shrunken Head on Tempest is coming up, and looking at this Hellborn side, I guess they would still have the Deadwood here to be able to stop things. But other than that, a lot of options to work with, so that should prove to be big.
If he gets himself a Null Stone, he'll be relatively safe from getting his ulti canceled. I mean, Dead would have to punch him in that case, so. And it's pretty hard to punch. Well, in a lot of ways, Tempest will blink, and, top lane.
Yeah, Magebane running into a little bit of trouble right here. Pops a Shrunken just to make sure, and he gets on out of there. So I don't know if the Shrunken was absolutely necessary, but wanted to use it to be safe, and that means another second less now. On the duration, at least.
He has used it twice defensively. I think the first time was defensively as well, so hasn't really used it for any offense. And I mean, they can. I mean, he's ready to fight. I mean, that whole team is. I mean, Shrunken on Boxy would probably be pretty nice, but other than that, they have their items.
Yeah, so BMG, got to wonder when they're going to be looking maybe to not necessarily force the issue, I guess, but make a move right here. I mean, at the same time, maybe this idea of just constantly split pushing and just farming, continuing to do that. Clearly, you see Magebane again right there. He's kind of living life on the edge. He almost got caught, but he blinks away in time, and he's going to be fine. I guess the danger side of this is that you are opening up opportunity for the Hellborn team to maybe get a pick off or two and then work off of that. So you could argue that if you are BMG, when you get these core items now, that perhaps trying to get those objectives completed could be for the benefit here, but for now they will just continue to be evasive somewhat and stay alive. Lord Salfor, so that means more farm for him too. And with a sheep stick as well as a Talbot, you kind of wonder what he's going for next. I know Staff of the Master is considered pretty big, pretty powerful on him in general, and now that he already has a sheep stick beforehand too, I think you could argue that could be a good pick for him.
Midas got caught right here.
Wow, yeah, he's going to find Midas, and this is very likely a kill coming out. That's a kill. Salforus, man.
That's the strength of that hero. Once it gets a sheep stick, it has incredible solo kill potential. And that's a good pick because Midas has been constantly up there pushing out those lanes.
Yeah, I think that's one of those. It's one of those really feel-good picks for them. As Magebane once again gets caught, and this time he probably is going to fall. Yep, he will go down. So just to the point, just talking about less than a minute ago, that I'm not saying that the Legion team hasn't been real. Like, they still clearly want to farm a little bit more, but the more you do this kind of spread out farm, the more chances that you're giving to 2-0 to kind of get these individual pickoffs here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's still the silhouette factor with South Forest. I mean, it is a dual core lineup, so if they aren't too careful, I mean, they can throw this game no matter how farmed that Magebane is. I mean, this could end up being a split pushing battle with 4 players defending while the other one's pushing.
Yeah. We are just seeing solo kills left, or like just one player's dying left and right, man. Getting caught out.
The pickoff potential is everywhere, and yeah, now this silhouette's even scarier. He's got a token on his hands now, and I'd almost be a little afraid for BMG at this point if they don't make a play pretty soon. I mean, their Magebane being so far ahead of everyone, they maybe should have tried to force a fight, but now South just bought an item. Okay, he buys a Shrunken Head.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, obviously a good choice in general. But yeah, like you were saying earlier, the staff would actually be very good this game, mostly for Magebane, because if he kills Magebane and gets that HP, the percentages based off his HP, it's going to be pretty high because he's already building a Frostwolf as it is.
Yeah, and just now, I guess, I mean, just the duration addition in general, and yeah, it's just, I mean, the damage, no matter really what their HP is, even if it is pretty small, like the Aluna, I mean, it's still a decent buff in the end for the attack speed to the attack damage that you get for him, and just, of course, then in general, the stats that a Staff of the Master brings to the table, but yeah, given the Shrunken, it's hard to argue that's good here, or that's not good here, but, still now even. I mean, he can now follow that up with that Staff of the Master. I wouldn't be surprised at all, but top lane, Magebane again might be in trouble. He takes a sheep stick. He kind of was slow to react right there. He is going to eventually blink away. The dot shouldn't be enough damage. Yeah, he is going to be fine in the end. Seemed like he was a little slow to react there on that part, though. I don't know if something caught him initially or not, but he does manage to live.
Yeah, Silhouette did tree grapple stun him.
Oh,
originally.
man.
That's what stunned him.
Okay, so that is what stunned him. Silhouette is going to be picked off, by the way. She got a little antsy, and now the Tempest ultimate locking her down as soon as she resurrects, and she will go down as well. That was all because Marcus Moy wanted to keep pushing out the top lane, got extra greedy, and went back in. And yeah, you can see the Legion team setting up here, knowing that if she did, they were ready. And sure enough, she did actually. So the individual deaths keep on happening. Both of these teams keep just getting found, really. It feels like one by one at bits and pieces here. So you got to kind of wonder when we're going to learn our lesson if you're either side. And Magebane is going to be able to blink away, by the way, as they try to jump him there.
Yeah.
Geos.
Magebane needs to be a little careful. Oh, I thought Magebane blinked over there. But yeah, as I was saying, Magebane can easily be bursted down this game, and no matter what items he goes, he's going to get bursted down this game. I mean, even if he goes a Wingbow, sure, it'll help with still a little bit. But I mean, there's still the Deadwood Punch. There's still the South Forest ulti. There's a lot he has to survive. And I mean, if he gets focused and gets a little bit caught out at all during this game, he's just going to melt every time.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is interesting with the idea of something like lifesteal as well. If he wanted to go lifesteal, obviously Lord South Forest almost doesn't flat out prevent that, but it's a lot less appealing to want to get something of the Whispering Helm, even especially than the similar Rage. So he is going the Iceman, as mentioned, though, and going the Frosted Skull, perhaps even because of that. Figures he just wants as much life as possible, knowing that the lifesteal is going to be nerfed here against the Lord South Forest. So speaking of South Forest, oh, he got spotted right there. He had the Veldorado, but an illusion actually scouts him out, so not going to be useful there. Whenever I see a Silhouette in a game, always bring up the idea of a possible Nullfire Blade. That's something as well, and I mean, Magebane technically could be a candidate for that. It does stack with the Mana Combustion that he brings to the table, so, and then on top of that, just having the Nullfire tool to be able to purge those illusions or any debuffs perhaps, but I don't know if he's going to figure it's necessary here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Nullfire on Magebane is just, sure, it stacks, but, like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, what do you really need that extra mana, burn? Because I think, now that it scales at this point, I think it's even less of a reason to go for it. But he does finally put a point into the Master of the Mantra because he has no choice.
Yes, that is interesting. Now, actually, going back to that real quickly, it's we'll kind of mention that, and then some stuff started happening. So obviously, he went stats all the way at this point until, like you said, he kind of has to now. He doesn't have a choice here. Max out on stats. Now he gets Master of the Mantra. Master of the Mantra, I find to be an interesting ability. The fact that it just kind of does damage randomly around you when people use abilities, I think that's actually, decent. Whether or not it warrants going straight up stats over that, I know you could argue about. And I think at least one point in it could have been worth it. But I do understand why people may just want to pass it up until they have to get it at the same time. It's not an overwhelming ability.
I'm kind of looking at at least in this case, this game, in my opinion, there's really no big high mana cost spells. If Magebane was on the Hellborn team, I would say yes, it would have been worth it because Midas it's great against Midas, it's great against heroes like Meraxes, but for this Hellborn team, there's really not any big cost mana spells. So
yeah,
I definitely am okay with him not going at this game up until now.
Middle lane. This is interesting. You see Torture right here. Okay, she's going to be fine. There was a Luna that happened to be nearby as well. Luna, by the way, Fusen has a portal key here. He's managed to get onto a Luna. So, I mean, only 170 gold per minute. It's not like his farm's been very, very good, but he's been able to save it up. Purchase a portal key here, so going to allow for some good positioning to hit those stuns. That's the idea, I'm sure. Oh, Magebane top lane. Yeah, he just blinked, but the Storm Spirit right before Devil can get the Falcon Punch off. Now they do get the Sheep Stick off in return. They're possibly shrunken up from Magebane. He's going for the kill. He will get it. And then he blinks out of there. I don't know if this is going to be enough, though. No, that's superior damage. Oh, my gosh. If he had a staff, that was a kill, damn it.
Ah, he changed his boots.
Oh, yeah.
He actually went on the strength there, so that actually could have been the game, or not the game changer, but the big decision maker right there.
Yeah. He changed his boots, so he stays alive in the end. Barely, but manages to do so. Now he has that Frostless Skull, another 2,300 gold saved up. On top of that, again, Baltazar. When we jumped into this game, he was 0-0-0. He's 1-1-1 now, so he's been a little more
minutes.
active. Yeah, he's stepped it up a little bit, but no, this is definitely a very avoiding game. I mean, a Silhouette versus a Mage Bane, it makes sense. That's the play style of the two heroes, really. They kind of want to split push and do their own thing, where the rest of the team maybe distracts, if anything. So that's just the game that we're built for here. But, I mean, the Legion side, BMG, their lead has started to grow a little bit. Top lane again. Here we go, Mage Bane, Sheepstick. Now, Magnus chose not to... Okay, he didn't have the mana, I guess. He does have a Blood Chalice. I was going to say, why didn't he go for the Eruption right there? But I guess maybe just being out of mana initially is what... prevented him from doing so right there.
Yeah, and they keep committing a lot to trying to kill this Mage Bane, and they're not. So it makes me believe that they should be trying to kill other heroes elsewhere and kind of just forget about this Mage Bane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for those that are curious, we did jump into the other series. We were planning to cast Polymorph versus Evil Corporation, but from it being delayed in the start to then having several pauses at the very beginning of the game, with apparently some things happening, we just figured, you know what, we will just jump into the other series, and we're going to stick with this one, and, you know, worst case, we'll jump into the other one if this one finishes early, whatever, but we're going to stick with BMG 2-0 moving forward, to clarify here. Gold being saved up, 4,500 gold now saved up on Lord South Forest, so he has enough for a full staff if he actually did want that. I don't know, like, I was trying to think, could something like a Resto Stone actually be good on him? I mean, with a Sheepstick, the double ultimate, is that like, would that be good?
I don't think it would be bad, but I think with him already having such low cost... Oh, top lane? Oh, no, okay.
That's fine.
Get out. I think with his spells already being such a low cooldown, I don't know if you really need it. I was actually thinking maybe a Frostfield plate this game would be pretty good.
Okay.
They do have a lot of Shrunkins, actually. Maybe a Demonic.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a Demonic this game, just some sort of team aura fighting item, because basically it's going to end up being a 4v4 fights with Mage Bane and Silhouette, doing their own thing elsewhere.
Yeah.
So, if their 4 players are stronger than the other 4 players, just going to win like that. So it's setting up to be an interesting 4v4 fight, because both teams have the stuns. They all have stuns.
So interesting, what you got in chat right there. I'm glad that apparently he double checked this. So the Deadwood Log actually does not stun. It does not mini stun through Shrunken.
Oh.
I honestly thought it did, and I've been under the impression that it has, like, for a long time. So I am surprised to hear that.
There's no way they can cancel his ulti then.
Well, the only way would then be a Falcon Punch if he's able to get Willowmaker with the positioning, but.
Yeah,
that's obviously not realistic.
Yeah, because Tempest's just going to hole on himself 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
He's just not going to get the punch off. So, I guess it must the mini stun effect must be counted as magic then. I mean, with Shrunken Head on, I guess that's what it has to be.
It says activation type physical. So, but I guess that's maybe just for the does not stun or slow magic immune units. Okay. It actually says in the tooltip now that I'm reading it. I wonder if that was a change that happened, honestly. Because I do feel like it used to be able to stop through Shrunken, but I might be wrong on that. So.
Yeah, that's okay.
There you go.
Okay.
No, we see interaction right here. Dead was speaking of him. He goes in as Torture was jumped initially with this, but now Dead was the one in trouble. You see Mage Bane cutting through with the auto attacks. The Mana Rift on the Torture ends up helping to secure the kill on him. In the background, Silhouette does get caught, by the way, the Elemental Void. Gonna lock down, and both Deadwood and Silhouette fall. Bad Monkey Gaming winning a big fight right here. Lord South Forest, he's trying to run right now, and he gets the kill onto Luna, but it comes at a cost. He goes down. It's, nearly a genocide. Magnus is able to get away as he ports back to base, but that fight, I want to say probably the first big fight of the game here, PMG does come out on top pretty decisively. And now they're pushing middle in here.
Yeah, sounds kind of odd, but that one fight might have actually just have sealed the fate of 2-0 there.
Yeah.
It just kind of gave Magebane so much right there. I mean, he's almost 700 GPM now, and I mean, has 7.2k gold. It's most likely just going to buy a wing bow, and he's just going to way out split push the silhouette. So, yeah, that might have just done it. Maybe not yet. Oh, well, silhouette bought back and bought a Slayer.
Well, Magnus going in with the eruption right there. They actually do end up taking out Midas, but now Magebane holding his ground. He kills Magnus. Silhouette is going to do enough to scare off Magebane. In fact, Magebane's still a little bit low. Is going to be able to blink before he actually falls right there. And goes for the TP to survive in the end. So very, very close. But yeah, getting the buybacks, the one buyback at least onto Marcus Moyne. You mentioned also buying the Slayer on top of that. So really try to kind of go all-in-ish right there. And have a hold happen. Now killing Midas, and they do prevent even the tower going down. So making a point that 2-0 is still in this game here.
Yeah, definitely. It's just, you know, a little grim, I would say. But I guess good news for them. Oh, Silhouette might get a kill.
Yeah, she's still going. Wow. All the way down here takes out Boxy, actually.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's a good kill. But as I was pointing out, Magebane just bought a wing bow after seeing the Slayer purchased on Marcus Moyes. So, I mean, wing bow's not a bad item in terms of split pushing, which is most likely what he's going to want to do.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not going to do anything to the Silhouette now. So
yeah. I think he should have got the Genjiro, with that said. I mean, that would have still enhanced the illusions, of course, with the Dancing Blade purchase. So, yeah, I definitely think the Genjiro probably would have been the smarter option here. But Silhouette, you know, even though she does get the Slayer, she still needs a little bit more before that Savage Mace even has had. And then, yeah, it's still going to be good against other heroes on top of that. But interaction going to happen without that Savage Mace being purchased just yet. You see Luna getting picked up off the map, but Lord Salfor is having a run. He did get that Resto Stone, by the way. Elemental Void locking down Silhouette, though. She goes down again, and she's staying dead this time, I believe. You do see the Nullfire Blade on Moraxis also helping with that. Lord Salfor is holding his ground. It's not going to be enough. He will go down when it's all said and done. Magnus now in trouble. He's going to be dove on, and he too will fall. I think 2-0. May think the end is near now as another victory, and yep, GG, well played, going to be called. So, game one, going to be looking good for the victory here in favor of Bad Monkey Gaming over Team 2-0. But yeah, there were some interesting pickups, actually. We didn't even really get into because of the fights happening. But yeah, the Resto Stone was purchased on Salforce. Tempest did eventually get one as well. The Nullfire on Moraxis, so... But yeah, BMG, I guess when a Magebane just kind of AFK farms like that and isn't stopped, it's usually a difficult thing to eventually stop that.
yeah, you just can't deal with that. And I mean, yeah, Pexu did pick up the Resto Stone there, and the problem was he didn't get to use it. I mean, he just kind of got bursted to the point where he couldn't even use it. So that did suck. I mean, kind of a waste, not a wasted item, but you know, a Demonic might have done a little bit more in that team fight. But yeah, it looks like BMG just, you know, from the early game just had a good start and just took it to the late game.
That they did, yeah. We jumped into it a little bit later on, so obviously don't have the information exactly how it did start right there, but it seems like, yeah, it started pretty good for BMG especially, and they rode that momentum wave to the finish line here. So we'll see game number 2. Again, we are going to stick with this one, guys. It just makes sense. I am being told that the other series did finally start game number 1.